Once again, welcome back to the program. ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਸੈਗਮੈਂਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਥ ਦੇਣਗੇ ਰਿਚਰਡ ਲੇਵਾਲਡ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਬਾਇਓ એનર્ਜੀ ਦੇ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲਿਸਟ ਹਨ। ਅੱਜ ਕਿਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਫ੍ਰੀਕੁਐਂਸੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਤੇ ਅਸਰ ਪਾ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਆਓ ਇਸ ਸੰਬੰਧ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੁਝ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਆਇਓ ਸਾਡੇ ਮਹਿਮਾਨ ਰਿਚਰਡ ਲੇਵਾਲਡ ਤੋਂ। Richard, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Thank you. So today, tell us, with technology, there's a lot of advancement what we are seeing today. But along with that, it is also affecting our health in a big way, especially the kind of frequencies what we are witnessing today. Like earlier, there weren't so many frequencies which were in the environment. But today, we have heard about honeybees disappearing. And that major reason is said is radiation. Electromagnetic frequencies, radiation, pollution, all these things are having an impact on us. So what kind of things are we witnessing today?
Well, these benefits that we're creating through technology do help us because, like, who can live without a cell phone today?
Right.
It becomes part of us. But however, these devices also create in the frequency ranges, so frequencies are simply vibrations, and they work in the electromagnetic field, electromagnetic spectrum.
Right.
And our biological structures are being impacted, and this is causing a lot of disturbances. And we can see it happen all throughout nature. So apparently in the last 100 years, there's something like 200 million new frequencies being introduced.
Wow.
We haven't really identified, and there's been a lot of disputes. Like, let's put it this way, it's all about the money. So you're looking at the whole cell phone industry. And truly it's difficult to move backwards and live without the cell phone. But
Right.
As we're seeing this, and we look around all the nature, we hear, like you mentioned, about the honeybees, bee populations in general, and we're in trouble if they all disappear because
Oh, yeah.
the bees they pollinate the plants, and so
Right.
it's going to involve our foods and so on. We hear about instances where hundreds of birds just come falling and dropping out of the sky, dead.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so why is that? These phenomena are becoming more frequent. We hear about dolphins beaching themselves. We hear about the whales and so on, and so a lot of different things are happening.
Right.
The problem with it all is that there's not a good uniform, for the survival of the species, which is us. Okay, we're at the
Right.
top of the food chain. We need to identify because we're part of nature, and we need to respect nature.
Right.
But in general, we haven't. We go in and we move in, and we just plow everything, we destroy it, and we have no regards. But yet
Right.
we need everything in nature. Keep that in balance. And so, as these frequencies come along, and like ourselves, the simplest thing I tell people, you do not see electricity, but you see the effects of electricity. You see light and sound and wave, heat and so on. But the electricity itself, you can look at the switches, you can look at the wire, and you never see it.
Right.
Okay? You don't see radio waves, you don't see television waves or cell waveforms, but they are there. We know they're there.
Right.
So a lot of these other type of frequencies or vibrations are impacting us. And so if they are impacting us negatively, like I mentioned, there's around 200 million new frequencies.
Right.
Then wherever you're going, let's say we're going to a mall, okay? How many Wi-Fi, how many cell phones, how many electrical systems, smart meters and so on are out there. And so anyways, we're always now being ambushed, assaulted and damaged.
Right.
And then many disease forms are increasing. We know what's happening now, even in Canada, they released the statistics for cancer. You compare it from, let's say, the 1960s to what it is today.
Right.
Today, they say 1 in 2 people will develop cancer, okay? So it's not getting better. And you look at many of the other diseases that are there, it's affecting not just old people, but it's affecting young
Everyone,
people,
yeah.
babies, okay? So
Right.
something is out of balance. And so there's a need to know what is causing it. And if it's there, then we got to find the solutions.
Absolutely.
And to me, this is, because there's so much denial of those who are developing the technologies, other people got to come out. And if there are good studies, and there are agencies that have done amazing work on identifying these things and putting
Right.
things forth, but of course, you're fighting big business, big dollar. So really, I put it again to the people, we are all responsible for our own health. What do
Absolutely.
you want to get out of life? What kind of quality is it going to look like for you, right?
Right, that's very true. You see, we are responsible for our own health, but the question is, in this fast world where everything is happening so fast, and as you very rightly said, now it's impossible to live without your cell phone. But what about the other waves we are talking about, the microwaves or the electromagnetic waves and all these things? How do these impact, like these frequencies, how are they impacting our health? We are seeing in the form of disease, but what actually do these waves do to us, which leads to deterioration of our health?
So to visually see this, okay, when I do my measurements with my wands, okay, using a person's DNA,
Yeah.
I can show your energy field, okay, as how far it might go out, 10, 12, 20 feet, and it varies from person to person, depending
Right.
on what's going on with them. And you could hold, for example, food that's been microwaved,
Right.
how that, when you hold it in your hand, that energy from that food, or whatever it is, that just totally impacts you and it brings down your energy field.
Okay.
Okay, so bio means life, so life force. When your life force declines, that means everything that's going on in your body is at a substandard level as well.
Right.
So how can you have vitality, optimal health, right? And it's then not turning to some drug or even herb or vitamin. It's about re-establishing your vibration, your frequency, your bioenergy field at a more optimal level, so
Right.
that all your cells, everything that's going on in your body can work more optimally, because we're own healers, right? You're your healer, repairer, rejuvenator, everything goes on. Cut your hair,
Right.
cut your nail, cut your skin. I always tell people, who's doing it? You're doing it, right? And so we've got to now look at ways and means, okay? It's everywhere, okay?
Right.
It's like, so we all got cell phones. There's, even if in my demonstrations, you touch an electrical switch,
Right.
it has an impact on you, okay? So even your common electricity, and with all the electronics, our houses are wired to the max for more
Right.
lighting and everything else. So, we're forever increasing
Right.
EMFs, or electromagnetic fields, created even from our electrical sources. Like you say, microwaves are very damaging. So we got microwaves actually in communication,
Right.
okay? They're blasting through the air. You don't see that.
Right.
Okay, and so if you're walking through microwave energy, it's bringing you down. Then you maybe wonder
Right.
why you maybe have a headache or why you're not feeling well.
Absolutely. There are so many things which are bombarding us these days, but again, it's a part of life. We do not know what to do.
Yes.
I would like to talk to you in my next program about, what are the solutions for this now? Of course, we need to raise voice as much as we can and make these agencies or make these governments work on these things, that ultimately these things are going to having a negative impact on us. But the question is, who will ring the bell? That's what the question is. So thank you for coming over here and talking about this important issue as to how these frequencies are affecting our health. So in our next program, we'll talk about the solutions also. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ। ਸੋ ਜੋ ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਅੱਜ 200 ਮਿਲੀਅਨ ਨਵੀਆਂ ਫ੍ਰੀਕੁਐਂਸੀਜ਼ ਅੱਜ ਸਾਡੇ ਆਸ-ਪਾਸ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਘੇਰੇ ਬੈਠੀਆਂ ਨੇ। ਹੁਣ ਕੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਬਚ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ? ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਨਹੀਂ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਾਈਕ੍ਰੋਵੇਵ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਲੋੜ ਹੈ, ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਵਰਤ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ, ਸੈੱਲ ਫੋਨਸ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਲੋੜ ਹੈ, ਉਹਦੀ ਰੇਡੀਏਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ, ਉਹਦਾ ਹੋਰ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ 'ਤੇ ਅਸਰ ਪੈ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ। ਪਰ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਰੋਕਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਜੇਕਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਬਿਮਾਰੀਆਂ ਰੁਕਣ ਅਤੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੀ ਪਨੀਰੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹ ਸਿਹਤਮੰਦ ਰਹੇ, ਤਾਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਬੁਲੰਦ ਕਰਨੀ ਪਏਗੀ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੇ ਮੌਕੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਕਿ ਕੋਈ ਪ੍ਰਦਰਸ਼ਨੀ ਹੋਏ, ਕੋਈ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਚੁੱਕੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਅਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਯੋਗਦਾਨ ਪਾ ਕੇ ਇਹ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਕਹੀਏ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਖਤਰਨਾਕ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਇਹ ਫ੍ਰੀਕੁਐਂਸੀਜ਼ ਨੇ ਇਹ ਬੰਦ ਹੋਣੀਆਂ ਚਾਹੀਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ। ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੀ ਸੋਲਿਊਸ਼ਨਸ ਨੇ, ਇਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਵੀ ਚਰਚਾ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ।